magical time of year when the Great Wall of China and my apartment are the only two man-made structures visible from space. I must say, I'm really excited about seeing Frederick this trip. Yeah, what you got?
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Feel, don't think.
Fear is my ally.
The Force will be with you.
We are encouraged to love. Be mindful of your thoughts.
I will not betray the Republic.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder.
I'm not afraid.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
So yes, it is the 9th day of Christmas, and yes, you guys get more Christmassy stuff in the little breaks and intro and outro because I can do that. And it is the 9th day of Christmas, 9 ladies dancing. That story about the 12 days of Christmas is a very interesting story, very historically accurate, but let's talk about 2026 predictions since I didn't do this yesterday. So we are now 13 years, 14 years since George Lucas, it'll be 14 years in October, since George Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney. And we haven't had a lot of Star Wars as of late. George has said a lot of stuff about Star Wars and his museum that has gone up in Los Angeles, the Museum of Narrative Film. And, he didn't want to put a Star Wars wing in, but it's like, dude, really? And he did. And it looks like it's going to be pretty popular, but it's been very weird. I mean, it's been so quiet and so weird about what's going on. And I'm, curious to see where everything ends up. Anyway, so we know this guy's leaving. When we don't know, we were told at the end of the year, and it's January 2nd, and we're staring at him going, why are you still here? Bob Iger is going to be replaced soon, and the leader in the running for CEO of Disney is now Josh D'Amaro, the head of the Parks Division. He'll be backed up by Alan Bergman in film, and I think Dana Walden, who thank God is not the leading candidate for this, because nothing says I'm going to fuck everything up more than a white woke alpha or white woke awful female. You know what an awful is? Affluent white female ultra leftist. She's an awful. Anyway, so it looks like it's going to be Josh, unless we get a surprise from the outside. I don't know. But it looks like a lot of, the film divisions are rehashing themselves. Like, we got Doctor Doom coming out with Marvel. Not that I give a shit, because Marvel to me is cotton candy for the brain. I don't care about it. There's nothing to it. There's nothing deep to it. And we saw a lot of layoffs going on the last few years from animation and the Disney film studio, right? And Marvel, etc. But no word is yet about Lucasfilm. We do have the inside scoops on several things from Sparrow, who's been very generous at Cameron's Patreon answering questions. We don't know when this thing is leaving. Matt Bellany reported last February, so almost a year ago, that she would be leaving, in a few months. And now it's been more than a few months, and her resting bitch face is still sitting quietly on top of Lucasfilm, even though, the Sparrow, they said that no one talked about her anymore, that she didn't really matter anymore. So it's like, are they just waiting to, why? Why? And when the report first came out from Bellany, the Hollywood Reporter jumped on it, and then Variety did, and then Deadline waited, and then had that awful interview, that psychotic interview with her, and we all remember. But one of the things that I think it was either Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, I can't remember, was actually going through names of people that could replace her. And we know for a fact that Jon Favreau, this guy, is the producer and director of Mando and Grogu, right? He also wrote it. He's, from what Sparrow has said, they said that he pretty much is running Lucasfilm. Now, the only way that I can see this working is if he has a co-president. And that was actually one of the choices. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni taking the reins together. Dave, doing the creative stuff and day-to-day, or John doing the admin stuff, doing the boss stuff, because he has his own film production company. It's called Gollum Productions, named after little dude Gollum from the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit. And, that would make sense to me. In no scenario do I see him, not being there. It's really funny how people at WDW Pro, etc., were saying he was gone, and then suddenly Mando and Grogu got announced. It's that video, really went well, didn't it? Now we got Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, despite what the Black Pills say, is George Lucas's Padawan. I mean, he's George Lucas's second son. Really. I don't think there's anybody who knows more about Star Wars, except for maybe George Lucas, than Dave Filoni. And I can't see a better guy, doing the things that make Star Wars Star Wars. Now, the rumors, which I think are bullshit, that he doesn't like the EU, I think it's bullshit. Okay, we'll see where it goes. But my money is on, now this video could be wrong, I could be wrong here, but my money is on a co-presidency between Filoni and Favreau. Now, let's go for some other things, and then we'll go into predictions. These are predictions. Kennedy will leave, Favreau and Filoni will take over. There is no Rey movie. They're not going to make it. Now the Blue Pill websites that back up Kennedy are now saying that there's no way that they were going to do a Rey movie, and it's just stupid to even think about it. Thank God, by the way. And there obviously won't be any Kyle Ron, the Search for Ben Solo. Adam Driver just blurted that out. We're not going to do it, and we weren't. The reason why is because Steven Soderbergh was brought into Disney and saw just how much money the sequel trilogy lost. And, you've got to admit that is a factor why Disney's not going to do that. So let's talk more.
Pardon me. I have to go poke out my mind's eye.
In keeping with the trusty adage, starve of cold, disgust of fever.
Dad, when are you going to stop blighting the environment with this atrocity? My God, can't you see that it wants to die? Let it go.
So I'm going to say this right now. If Disney doesn't hit the ground running with marketing for The Mandalorian and Grogu, there's only so much I can do. And they're going to have to do something to stem the tide of bullshit from the Black Pills, who will do everything they can to kill it because that makes them money. As far as I'm concerned, these guys are the Candace Owens of the Star Wars universe and fandom in general. every time something good comes out or somebody has a different opinion, they've got to shit all over it. It's the only way they can make money. They do it for clicks, they do it for AdSense money, and it's bullshit. It's greedy bullshit. And it pisses me off. So I think if they do it right, this movie will make its money back. They only spent $160 million on it. So it should make the money back. I think I'm going to say between $1 billion and $800 million at the box office, which I think is pretty good. If you look at the box office from last year compared to 2024, the box office in attendance was down by 5%. And the reason why is because there wasn't a movie I wanted to see. Was there one anybody wanted to see? Not really. I was, not shocked by that. It's just because they're not, look, they've basically killed creativity in Hollywood because they're afraid of it. They're afraid to take risks. Now, let's go into the streamer, Disney Plus. Maul, Shadow Lord, or whatever they're calling it, is going to be on Disney Plus. It's going to be animated. This looks pretty good to me. I'm not a fan of Sam Witwer. I don't like him. He comes across as an arrogant gas bag, and I don't like him. I don't like the guy, but I think the show is going to be pretty popular. It's what people have been looking for, right? It's what people, have really kind of wanted, and I think it's leading into something quite interesting in place of the sequel trilogy. Anyway, then we got The Ninth Jedi, which is a series that what came out of Star Wars Visions. It's from one of the Japanese animation houses, studios, and it was very popular. So they turned it into a series, and I got to admit, when they stuck with the Japanese anime for the last Visions, I thought it was all pretty good. When they went to the Europeans, it was like, you've got to be kidding me. There's quality in animation that the Japanese have and storytelling that the Europeans forgot. As someone who's an aficionado of animation, I love it. I can see when something's SpongeBob SquarePants or when something's, old school Walt Disney Fantasia, right? That's a difference. One is garbage. One is the rule. One is the thing you aspire to. Okay, so here we got Ahsoka Season 2. Now, I've noticed several, or at least one, YouTube channel run by a couple of derelicts saying that because it wasn't on the Disney schedule that it was canceled. I seem to remember that it was going to come out in 2027. Right? So it's not canceled. Why would they do that? It wrapped in October. This is how stupid people are. But you got to remember, the people who are running with this are intellectually lazy. They don't know how the real world works, and they don't know how Hollywood works. And they didn't stop to ask somebody what's going on here. They just ran with it. Why? Because they wanted clicks. Because their day jobs don't pay enough money. And there you go. But it's going to be the bridge, I think, between the Thrawn trilogy that is coming and Mando and Grogu and Ahsoka, right? I think this is going to be the bridge. Come out 2027. And I think the reason why they kind of slowed it down a little bit is because depending on when Heir to the Empire starts filming, they want something to tie into it. on Disney Plus, which is why they didn't mention it in 2026. I'm perfectly happy with what we're getting this next year. We're gonna get to see the original A New Hope coming out, and I think in February. Anyway, I just thought I'd post this and as my New Year's predictions, and we'll see you around the galaxy. Happy New Year.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
It's too big to be a space station.
I have a very bad feeling about this.